Join us on Patreon and become part of our journey to uncover history's untold stories. Your support helps us create in-depth content, bring hidden narratives to life, and keep history alive for everyone.
In the swirling sands of time, there exists a tale so compelling and profound. It has captured the imaginations of historians, theologians, and adventurers alike. The narrative of the lost tribes of Israel, mysterious groups scattered across the vast corners of the earth, has been a subject of intrigue and speculation for centuries. But what if I told you that one of these tribes, whose origins are shrouded in mystery and whose existence has been a topic of debate, found their way not to the distant lands of Asia or Europe, but to the ancient land of Ethiopia? This story is more than just an exploration of lost histories. It is an awakening to the forgotten links between two ancient civilizations, the Israelites and the Ethiopians. It is a story that transcends time, space, and even faith, offering a fascinating glimpse into a connection that history may have buried. The idea of a lost people, once thriving in a world of kingdoms and empires, disappearing from the pages of history, is both haunting and captivating. The lost tribes of Israel are often depicted as a group of 12 tribes that, after the destruction of the kingdom of Israel by the Assyrian Empire in the 8th century BCE, were scattered across the globe. They were lost to history, their whereabouts unknown, and their very existence questioned by many. Yet, through centuries of myth, legend, and evidence, a captivating theory has emerged, one that places the descendants of these tribes in the heart of Africa, specifically in Ethiopia, where the ancient Jewish influence continues to resonate to this very day. To understand this connection fully, one must delve deep into both the history of Israel and Ethiopia. These two lands, separated by vast distances and diverse cultures, share a bond that is older than most might imagine. Ethiopia's role in the biblical narrative is significant, with its ancient civilization often referred to in connection with Israel. The Queen of Sheba, one of Ethiopia's most famous figures, made a legendary visit to King Solomon of Israel, a tale immortalized in both the Bible and the Kabra Nagast, an Ethiopian text. This story, rich in symbolism and spiritual significance, has long been a testament to the deep connections between these two cultures. But the connection goes far beyond mere royal visits and diplomatic ties. The Jewish presence in Ethiopia has deep historical roots, with claims of the Beta Israel or Ethiopian Jews, tracing their lineage to the time of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. According to Ethiopian tradition, the Queen of Sheba, after her visit to Solomon, gave birth to a son, Menelik, who became the first emperor of the Solomonic dynasty. This dynasty, which ruled Ethiopia for centuries, is believed to have preserved the ancient Jewish heritage of their forefathers. Over the years, the Beta Israel community in Ethiopia has maintained their distinct Jewish identity, practices, and customs, despite being surrounded by a predominantly Christian and Muslim population. The story of the lost tribes of Israel is not just confined to biblical texts and ancient scrolls. It is also woven into the rich fabric of Ethiopian oral history and tradition. Ethiopian Jews, known for their unique religious practices, claim to be the descendants of the tribes of Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher, tribes that were part of the 10 lost tribes of Israel. This belief has been supported by various scholars and researchers over the years, who have pointed to the striking similarities between the religious practices of the Beta Israel and ancient Jewish customs. The observance of the Sabbath, the reading of the Torah, the practice of circumcision, and the use of Hebrew language all serve as strong evidence of this connection. For centuries, the Beta Israel lived in relative isolation in the highlands of Ethiopia, their existence largely unknown to the outside world. It was not until the 20th century that the international community began to take notice of their unique heritage. In the 1970s, the Israeli government initiated Operation Moses, a covert mission to airlift Ethiopian Jews to Israel, where they could live and practice their faith freely. This operation, and subsequent efforts such as Operation Solomon, brought thousands of Ethiopian Jews to Israel, where they have since integrated into Israeli society. Yet, the question of their origins and their connection to the lost tribe of Israel continues to stir debate. The lost tribes of Israel are not simply a biblical mystery. They are a testament to the resilience of a people who have endured centuries of displacement, migration, and cultural transformation. The story of these tribes is a story of survival, of maintaining an identity in the face of overwhelming adversity. Whether one views them through a religious, historical, or cultural lens, The connection between the lost tribes of Israel and Ethiopia offers a compelling narrative that transcends time and place. As we journey through this rich and fascinating history, we will uncover the intertwined fates of the Israelites and Ethiopians, from the ancient days of the Kingdom of Israel to the present-day community of Ethiopian Jews in Israel. We will explore the historical, archaeological, and theological evidence that points to Ethiopia as a land that may have sheltered the lost tribe of Israel, offering a new perspective on the ancient world and the enduring legacy of these remarkable peoples. The story of the lost tribes of Israel and Ethiopia is one of discovery, of uncovering hidden truths, and of embracing the complexity of human history. It is a story that invites us to question the narratives we have been taught, to reconsider the connections between cultures, and to explore the ways in which history has shaped the world we live in today. So, come with me as we embark on a journey through time, a journey that will take us from the biblical past to the heart of Africa, uncovering the forgotten history of the lost tribes of Israel and their enduring legacy in Ethiopia. The history of the lost tribes of Israel begins with the ancient kingdom of Israel, a biblical entity that existed around 3,000 years ago. Israel was initially a united kingdom under the rule of King David and his son Solomon. However, following Solomon's death, the kingdom split into two, the northern kingdom of Israel and the southern kingdom of Judah. The 10 tribes of Israel, Reuben, Simeon, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Issachar, Zebulun, Ephraim, and Manasseh, formed the northern kingdom, while Judah, Benjamin, and Levi made up the southern kingdom. The northern kingdom was eventually conquered by the Assyrians in 722 BCE, leading to the dispersion of the 10 tribes, whose fate remains one of history's great mysteries. The Assyrian conquest led to the forced relocation of the Israelites, and they were scattered across various parts of the Assyrian Empire. Over time, these tribes became assimilated into the cultures and civilizations they found themselves in, losing their distinct identity. Yet, the legend of the lost tribes persisted, and over the centuries, numerous theories arose regarding their fate and whereabouts. Some believed the tribes had migrated eastward, while others speculated they had journeyed to distant lands in Africa, Asia, and even the Americas. The search for the lost tribes has taken many forms throughout history, from scholarly research to more fantastical claims. One of the most fascinating and widely accepted theories is the connection between the lost tribes of Israel and the Jewish community in Ethiopia. The Beta Israel community, with its unique religious practices and deep cultural ties to Judaism, offers one of the most compelling pieces of evidence for this theory. Ethiopia's connection to the biblical narrative goes back thousands of years. In the Old Testament, Ethiopia is often referred to as Cush, a kingdom located to the south of Egypt. Ethiopia is mentioned in various books of the Bible, from Genesis to the prophets, and it played a significant role in the ancient world. The Queen of Sheba's visit to King Solomon is one of the most famous biblical stories involving Ethiopia. According to the biblical account, the Queen of Sheba traveled to Jerusalem to test Solomon's wisdom, bringing with her valuable gifts and treasures. This visit marked the beginning of a long-standing relationship between the two kingdoms. Ethiopia's importance in biblical history is not limited to its interactions with Israel. The Kingdom of Cush, modern-day Ethiopia, was a powerful and influential civilization in its own right, with its own rich cultural and religious traditions. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church, one of the oldest Christian denominations in the world, traces its roots back to the 4th century CE, and it claims to possess the Ark of the Covenant, a symbol of the sacred presence of God and a key element in the history of Israel. For centuries, Ethiopia was seen as a land of mystery and spiritual significance, and its people were often associated with the ancient Israelites. Some biblical scholars have even suggested that Ethiopia was a refuge for the lost tribes of Israel, offering a safe haven for those who were dispersed during the Assyrian conquest. The Beta Israel, also known as the Ethiopian Jews, have long been the subject of interest for those seeking to unravel the mystery of the lost tribes. The community's origins are deeply intertwined with the history of Israel, and their religious practices bear striking similarities to ancient Jewish customs. The Beta Israel trace their ancestry back to the time of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba, with some claiming that they are descendants of the tribe of Dan, one of the 10 lost tribes. The practices of the Beta Israel are uniquely Jewish. They observe the Sabbath, celebrate Jewish festivals, and follow dietary laws similar to those of traditional Judaism. Their synagogues and places of worship resemble those of ancient Israel, and their language, Guizi, is a Semitic language with deep ties to Hebrew. The similarities between Beta Israel customs and those of ancient Israel are not just coincidental. They are the result of a shared cultural and religious heritage that has been preserved through the centuries. Despite centuries of isolation, the Beta Israel maintained their Jewish identity, even as their community remained largely unknown to the outside world. It was not until the late 20th century that the global Jewish community became aware of the Ethiopian Jews and their connection to the lost tribe of Israel. The Israeli government, recognizing the historical and religious ties between the Ethiopian Jews and the ancient Israelites, initiated operations to bring the Beta Israel to Israel, where they could live as full citizens and practice their faith freely. The story of the lost tribes of Israel and their connection to Ethiopia is not just a tale of ancient history. It is a living testament to the enduring legacy of these tribes in the present day. The Ethiopian Jews, now integrated into Israeli society, continue to carry with them the traditions and beliefs of their forefathers. Their journey to Israel was not just a physical migration, it was a spiritual return to their ancestral homeland. In Israel, the Ethiopian Jewish community has faced challenges in adjusting to a new life, but they have also contributed to the cultural and social fabric of the country. Their unique traditions, music, and cuisine have enriched Israeli society, and their story has inspired countless individuals who seek to uncover the mysteries of their heritage. The legacy of the lost tribes is not confined to the past. It lives on in the hearts and minds of the people who continue to believe in their ancient connection to Israel and Ethiopia. The story of the lost tribes is one of resilience, faith, and a deep connection to a shared history that transcends borders and time. The journey through the history of the lost tribes of Israel and Ethiopia reveals a fascinating and complex story, one that challenges our understanding of history, religion, and culture. The connection between these two ancient peoples is a testament to the enduring power of shared identity and belief. It offers a glimpse into a past that has shaped the present in ways we are only beginning to understand. The story of the lost tribes of Israel and their Ethiopian descendants is far from over, and as new evidence and discoveries continue to emerge, we can only wonder what new chapters in this ancient tale remain to be written.